Right. This is for January 30th, 2026. These are my trading notes, and I'm following the MNQ, and I traded it yesterday. I was down for a little while, took a few losses, and then was able to come back before the end of the trading period, and was in the green before I just closed up shop and decided to quit for the day. So here's what I was looking at that got me into the bullish mode at the beginning of the day or after the open. Here's the 9:30 candle right here on the 15-minute chart, and it was all looking bullish. So it broke this little high right here, and I uh, I was looking down here at my indicators, and everything was on the bullish side. So I figured if it would go on up and then pull back, uh, and then continue on up, where I would get in above this high. Let me go over to here. Let me pause it and I'll pull up another chart. So here's the first. This is a 1 minute chart, and here's the first candle. What I did was I put in a buy above this high because that's one of my trading strategies, is where it continues on up or continues on down after the first couple of candles. So it looked like it was picking a direction, but I got in above this high, and I felt it was going to continue on up. But at one point, I think it was below this candle right here, the red one. I took a loss. I just said no. It should, if it's going to go after staying down in this area, it should go on up. So I took a little bit of a loss there. Excuse me. And instead of just waiting later to buy above the high again, I traded this what I figured was a bull flag, and really it's not, because looking back at it now, is because it's still in this range. And it wasn't a bull flag is good when it's moving in a direction and then pulls back, but you've already broken out of a range where now it's just staying in this range. So like I said, this is a 1 minute chart. So I just stayed out of it in this area. I was down um, in my account, and I needed some clear direction which way it was going to go. Oh, and here, this is a very important thing for me to look back on. This is the news candle, the CPI report that came out at 8:30, and this was the low right here, and this was the high. And that's why I figured if it broke above there, it was going on up. And because news candles, I found that I don't want to trade in the range of that news candle. After a breakout, I'm good, but I just don't like staying in that area. So that's where this has been. So I figured, okay, if it's going to go down below the low, it might be a breakdown to the low, which I later did realize that. But so it came down. I wrote the number here. It came down 752.50, and right in here the low was let's see, 753.25. So it did not break the low, but everything was looking like it was pushing to the downside. So I put in an order to sell 1 micro at below this low over here on a stop, which I did, and I got filled, and it looked like it should have been pushing down faster than it did, but I let it hang in there, and I just kind of watched it go back and forth. But in the meantime, let me go to this. What I was looking at with this chart is also the 1 minute. This is the E-mini ES, and this is the E-mini NASDAQ. I like it when they go hand in hand in correlation with each other. So everything's pointing down. All the moving averages are pointing down. That is that low right there, same one. So at that same point, it was getting ready to break. And when they break around the same time, it's what I've noticed, it's been a good trade. So I just hung in there. And then when it started really kind of moving down, I started adding contracts and these are micros. So, and when this was going with it, I felt it was a good move. Now, let me get over here. So here's another thing I look at is the CDV, which is cumulative delta volume, and that is the aggressive buyers and sellers. So when it's red and it's going down, the aggressive sellers they're selling at the market, meaning, and so there's more aggressive selling than there is aggressive buying at this point. So that was another confluence that I look at, that it comes together. So here is what I was looking at from the beginning, was my target, whichever way it goes. And this areas was a target I had in mind, because now here was my target to the upside, my target to the downside. Let me go back and show you why. And I'm saying you, in case you're watching my video, that's fine. This is my trading notes. These are my trading notes, so that I can come back and watch this. Instead of writing in a journal, I have it right in front of me, and I can figure out what I was thinking at the time. So I don't know if you're familiar with fair value gaps. I'm not an expert with them, but I've been learning about them, and I know that a lot of people teach about, when it goes into a fair value gap, get ready to sell or go against wherever it was. But the way I look at it is, why not trade towards the fair value gap? If you know it's there, it's a good target. So here's where these other fair value gaps have worked. Like here was one for there, and there, and it went right up in there. So this is a fair value gap here, and this is one here. So I just box those out as targets. So when here's that point right there that I got in at, and I figured, okay, it's going to go on down and hit this target. Well, it did eventually, and let me move this real quick. Okay, I hit the wrong button real quick. Anyway, let me go back over here to this one, and as it was dropping, I took off one contract at 20, and then I let some of the other contracts hang in there, and then I got out one because 700 is a good round number that these markets like to use. I got out of another one at 702, I believe it was, and then I said, okay, this thing could be going on down to the zone that I was targeting, and I started thinking, well, there's probably going to be a pullback before then. So when this candle started forming right here, I just said, nah, it probably wants to go back up a little bit. So I went ahead and put a buy stop order above this candle right here. I got stopped out, and I was done. So I was in profit. I said, it could go on and do what it's doing right now. I figured it was wanted to go down in this area, and eventually, and it did. But I just I was done for the day. Because this was very stressful. This area in here, waiting for something to happen. That's like 3 hours or somewhere in there, 2 hours, something like that, of just back and forth. And I just wanted to get out of it with a profit for the day, which I was. So that is all I can think of. Let me pause it real quick and then come back and recap it if I think of something else here that I missed. Yeah, I just wanted to show again this is a 5-minute chart, and I like my confluences here, or these indicators, to all be lined up. So this is the DMI, this is the CCI, this is the RSI, and this is the MACD. So going below this low on the 8:30 news candle right here, this is where I got in. But look down here, red above green, which that's a plus of what has to happen. The blue line right here is the 0 line for CCI, meaning if this yellow line's below, that's money going in on the short side, or money flow, I guess you'd say. The RSI, this dotted line, is the 50%, and I like to use this yellow line. If it's above 50%, I want to look for the bearish or bullish side. If it's below the white dotted line, this yellow line, I want it to be on the bearish side. So everything was looking good. This was that, like I said, this is a strong right here. That is very strong on all 4 of these. This is the MACD. When it gets bright red, or dark red, I should say, it's very bearish. So that was one of the things I was really looking towards. And I did mention before how I like to see these two trading together, and it was just picture perfect. Oh, and these moving averages, the blue one is 50, and the red one is 13. and I just used those when they curled around and started, going, especially they start spreading out. That's a good sign for me. And let's see, one more thing. Here's those. Let's see right here. Make sure I'm doing it right. Yep. So these the CDV, when it's breaking down, this is going down. So it's just looking like it's a lot of pressure to the downside, in which there was. So that's it for my trading notes today. If you watched it, I hope you got something out of it. And I just say, come up with your own plan. If something I said in here helps you out, I hope it did. I hope you had some good trading. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.